Salam everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rabya and welcome to video number 33 for me. Today we are going to be going over how to create a cut crease. I've seen so many videos going around online just about almost all YouTubers do a cut crease in their video just because it adds such a more dramatic glam look to any eye look that you're creating, and I just wanted to take a little bit of time and do a beginner's guide to cut crease. So this look actually only has 3 primary eyeshadows going on, and then I did use a little bit of black in the outer corner just to deepen up the look a little bit. And so I really hope that you guys find this video helpful and that it kind of helps elevate your eye look game. And if you do like the video, please consider liking the video and also subscribing to my channel, sharing with a friend that you think might enjoy it. And with that, let's just get in to the video. Okay, so we're starting off with our foundation done, our brows on, and our eyelids primed. I did already start working on the crease in this eye. So I'm going to be going in with the Pat McGrath. This is a Mothership Sublime Bronze Eyeshadow Palette. I showed this in my Sephora haul. And what I'm basically going to do is I've already started working on one eye, but I'm going to go in with this medium brown tone. And I'm going in with the For Less ME3, so just a fluffy crease brush like that. And I'm just going to start working this into my upper crease. So with cut creases, and especially because for this look I'm only going in with 2 eyeshadows because that's all that the palette has, I like to just keep buffing until I get a lot of dimension just from that one eyeshadow. So here you can see there's a dimension being created, but it's all just one eyeshadow. So the way I find that I get that is if you just keep blending it into your crease, the more you blend, the more pigment settles in and fluffs out, so you'll get more and more dimension. And I like to go in with a fluffy brush for this just because that is how you get the most diffused look. So you just want to kind of work in windshield wiper motions, and then again, I'm holding the brush pretty far from the bristles, and it's such a light hand when you're working and you want the best diffused look. You just have to work super lightly and softly with your eye. I mean, you should be working softly with your eye anyway, just because the skin around your eye is so sensitive. But the more pressure you put, the more you're gonna pack on color, and it'll be harder to blend. As when you're just doing it lightly, you just kind of are smoothing the color over your eyelid. Okay, so now that I'm happy with the opacity of the crease shade, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a thinner brush. So this is a Vasanti Contour eyeshadow brush. It's just a little bit thinner and less fluffier than the For Less one, and I'm gonna go in to this deep brown shade. I'm going to pick it up just on the tip of the brush, dust off any of the excess. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to pretty much tuck it into my crease directly on this outer corner and just start defining this outer corner with this color. So I'm going to just define it and once I have most of the color on this outer V, I'm just going to start blending it into the crease just because I don't want there to be a lot of darkness in the crease. Just when you're doing a cut crease, especially, what you're trying to basically do is open up your eyes. So after you've done all this shadowing, you're basically opening up your eye again by cutting it a little bit. So that's why I don't like to have a lot of drama in this part anyways. And then also it's a waste of product just because we are about to just completely hollow out the shape right there. So once I have that dark shade on, I'm going to go back in with that same brush that we were using in the beginning, the For Less one, and I'm just going to lightly dust around the edges just to smooth out any harsh lines that we may have. And I'm not going in with any more product just because I don't want to deepen this look anymore. I just want the two browns to kind of fade into each other better. So let me finish this eye up a little bit, and then you can see the difference between the blend here. You don't really see, you see the depth and all the difference, but you can't really tell where it starts and ends, whereas here you can see where that line of brown is. So that's why we just like to go in and blend. Honestly, with any eyeshadow look, the biggest tip I can give is just take a little bit more time and blend. Okay, now to cut that crease, what we're gonna do is go in with a really creamy concealer. So this one is the Tarte Shape Tape. I like going in with this one because it's really opaque and it is really creamy. And what you want to do is just line your your lash line with it as far back as you want. So I don't really like to do a full cut crease just because I don't like the look. I like the look of diffused outer corner. But if you wanted to do a full cut crease, you would just take it all across your lash line. And what you're gonna do is look up and kind of like, I guess, like look around, look up while looking around, and then you're gonna get like that definition right there. And you're gonna go in with a flat brush. This is a Luxie small shader. And what you're going to want to do is start connecting the line, like your lash line concealer, to the stencil that you just created. I like to pull the concealer downwards just because I feel like you're going to get like a cleaner like cut if you don't work the like concealer up, because then you might like start getting like more jagged. So what I like to do is kind of just bring that concealer downwards. And once it's pretty much blended, what I like to do is then just kind of on like the side, like with the side of the brush, just kind of go around and make sure that the edges are really sharp. And then that's just how I find you get like the cleanest cut crease. And this way, it also the cut crease will be good for your eye shape, because how far it opens up is going to be based on how your eye creases. So if you have a hard time figuring out where to cut the crease, I feel like this technique is really good and it will complement your eye shape. Obviously, if you want like more, if you have more lid space, or if you want to bring your cut crease more upwards, you can start just dragging the concealer up a little bit higher. But I just find like this technique is just super complimentary for all eye shapes, and it just like prevents like overcutting or like undercutting your crease. Okay, so now that the crease is cut, I'm going to go in and apply that main eyeshadow color, and for that I'm going to be using this beautiful blue in the palette. And first I'm just going to take that shadow on my ring finger, it's so beautiful, and I'm just going to start packing it onto my lid. Another tip is like, so usually when I set down my eyes, I do go over with powder. But if you're trying to get like a super opaque finish from like your shimmery shadows, just go in on top with like of your tacky base. So I didn't set this down, I'm just going right over top of that concealer with this eyeshadow, and I feel like it makes it more vibrant. So I'm doing this really carefully, and I'm primarily just focusing this on like the larger part of my lid and not going up too high, because basically for like all of this little detail work, I'm going to go in with a detailed brush. This is the Jaclyn Hill JH42 with Morphe, and I'm just going to pick the shadow up on that brush, and I'm going to start just brushing it up against that line, just because again I want to keep this really clean. And your fingers, although they're a great tool, they won't give you that precision that a brush will. And so I just like to go over the edges with this brush. That is the crease cut with eyeshadow put on. What I'm going to go now and do is again go in with that same fluffy brush we were using in the beginning with no additional product, and just kind of work around the edges of that cut crease. I know like the point of a cut crease is like that dramatic stark like line, but I honestly I can't. I need it a little bit softer, so I'm just gonna go super lightly, barely touching the brush up against my eye, and go around the edges just to make sure that it's not super harsh. For eyeliner, I've been loving the Pretty Vulgar eyeliner. This is the Ink Blacklist Gel Liner. I'm just going to be going in with this e.l.f. angled liner brush, and I'm just going to be creating a pretty decent sized wing just because of the drama that is involved in this look. I think the next video I want to do is on how to apply eyeliner, because I just know that that's something that people do struggle with. Let me know if you'd want to see that, but I always just basically create like a stencil along my lashes. I kind of create the line there, and then I like to extend it outwards. kind of create a line, and then I kind of extend it as far out as I want to, and then I just connect it back. So see, I have a stencil and I'm just gonna fill it in. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit more drama to this outer corner just because of the dramatic line that I created. So I'm gonna be going in with the Milk Cosmetics. This is the Dark Matter eyeshadow from their Dark Matter stack. And I'm going in with an e.l.f. smudge brush. I'm just going to basically pat this on this outer corner just to kind of deepen it up and kind of connect that liner back to the look a little bit. And I'm doing like such a soft little patting motion, like I don't want too much pigment there and I don't want to mess up the crease that we just created. I just want a little bit more cohesiveness between the liner and my eyeshadow. I'm also going to take a little bit of this and look up into a mirror, and I'm going to just smudge a little bit onto my lower lash line. This black is super pigmented. I'm just going to smudge it a little bit. So I don't ever bring eyeshadow, like dark eyeshadow, all the way into my crease, like lower lash line, just because again, I feel like it makes it look really dark. So I like to just like kind of focus it mostly on this outer corner because I want my eyes to look more like almondy. So I like to put most of that pigment there and kind of just drag it mid to like the midpoint of my eye. Go back in with that Burlesque brush that we've been using throughout the look, and I'm just gonna lightly like tap that black in to place. I'm not really gonna move this as much as I was the other ones. I want to do more like tapping motions just to keep like the dimension and that like the deepness of that black just in that outer corner. And I'm also just going to again look up into the mirror and drag that brush around my lower lash line just to diffuse the color a little bit more. Really quickly, I'm going to coat my lashes with some mascara. So I'm using the same Too Faced one. I like this one because it just gives my eyelashes so much drama. Okay guys, and that completes this video on how to do a cut crease. I really hope that you found this video helpful and informative. That is always my goal with these how-to videos. And yeah, I really enjoyed showing you in depth how I do a cut crease. And I also have been really loving this Pat McGrath palette. Like, it's so simple but so beautiful. So yeah, I love this palette, and I mean, I should. It was like so expensive. But yeah, I really love the tones of that shadow, and I really like how this blue look turned out. If you do recreate the look, please make sure to let me know. You can tag me on Instagram. It is at Rabs Beauty, and either on my Instagram or in the comments down below, you can always leave me suggestions for other how-to videos that you think would be helpful. And yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's Ramadan with Rabs video. I really hope to see you guys in my next one. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Bye!